Hello Australia, welcome to episode 666 of The Couch. Nice to have your company. We've got a big show today. Cara Walker's back with us today and talking immunity and how to get better immunity for our bodies. What's open in Perth with Belinda Cipriano? She's back. Talking travel with Steve Collins, he takes us to Geraldton. Millennium Kids are in with a fantastic program that they're running very, very soon. We'll talk about that. Ranger Red is here. He's from Pill Zoo. His real name is Bradley Holland. He'll be bringing a python, a frog, and I think a lizard as well. Spin It to Win It is back. Thanks to Goliath, we're giving away a whole heap of board games. Stay tuned for details. And Luis Ribeiro will be performing for us today on the show as well. And, that's right, Sandra Baba. She cooks Middle Eastern food. She's been shut down because of the virus, but she's back and she's going to be cooking something here for us and telling all about her catering as well. Stay tuned. This is The Couch. Episode 666 starts now.
It's showtime on the couch. It's showtime on the couch. You can see it from your house. You can see it from your house. It's showtime on the couch with Fred and the best in town. You can see it from your house. Yeah, it's showtime on the couch. Oh.
Hello Australia, welcome to another episode of The Couch. I'll be coughing throughout the show, so please don't write in and say he's got coronavirus. He doesn't. Trust me, it's a nervous cough. It comes every so often. The air conditioning's been brought down to 2 degrees, so it's beautiful in here. So welcome to the program. Stick around. Hope you're having a wonderful time at home, wherever you're watching us around Australia. Cara Walker's back. Nice to always have you back. You were on our last show before coronavirus kicked us out.
It's been a couple of months.
And you're back on our second show now back, so it's nice to have you back.
Oh, it's so good to be here. And we're going to talk health today because I know that you love to be really healthy, Fred.
I was saying because of this cough and that, I need immunity.
I know we're going to beast up. Well, it's a topic that we should be talking about. I love the positives of COVID is that everyone got a little bit more aware of how germs spread. So, wow, we actually wash our hands now. How cool is that, coming out of the bathrooms and before we eat food? I think we do it for our kids, but why not everybody doing it?
Yes, I did the same yesterday. I was eating a cannoli with the custard and I washed my hands like this.
So healthy. Yeah. Did you?
Made sure they were very clean.
Nailed it. But you know what I heard yesterday on somewhere that the actual flu statistics are so much lower this year.
They've reduced.
Because everyone's actually taking care of their health. So
I think
obviously
it's 83% less.
Yeah, that's taking a good step in the right direction. But what about right now? Let's get our body's really tuned up. So anything that comes in, we can actually fight it from the inside.
So when you're talking immunity, tell people what that is.
So we're talking about our little army inside of us that if a germ, we're always exposed to germs and bacteria, and we can often defeat them off. We don't know what's going on, but there's things we can do to boost that army inside of us. So if we come along and in contact with germs and bacteria, our body's like, kicks it out. So we tune up our cars, we clean up our home, let's walk on our bodies too.
Is it very hard to increase our immunity strength?
I think living a wonderful lifestyle is really easy,
okay,
Fred.
Goodbye.
Same with you. We've talked about this. It's not hard. It's just about really being smart. Some really basic things that we can do. First of all, obviously, we know about washing our hands.
Yes.
But let's have a look at our diet. Funny.
Pause.
Pause for
memories.
You know, when I go on is I've
important.
talked about this. I've harped on this to you for years. Is a rainbow diet, and I'm not talking about rainbow ice cream. I'm talking about a rainbow of all the different coloured foods. You get so much more nutrients. We need to nutrient add in every single meal and snack we have.
So use me as an example if you must.
Okay.
But how would you say, for someone like me, what can I do? How basic is it for me to improve my immunity?
So just have a think about some snacks that you have. Can you switch up, say, your...
say chocolate or potato chips or biscuits?
Can you switch that out for some, maybe a couple of pieces of fruit in a day? Getting your vitamin C in there and getting your vitamins in. Did you smile then? You're like,
Yes, no, I was actually smiling at Abby giving me the time.
Oh, that's good. Getting those nutrients in, but also your meals. We want to stay away from heaps of potato and rice. I love potatoes and rice. I'm an Irish girl, but let's switch up maybe for some sweet potatoes and some pumpkins and getting different
I heard the sweet potatoes are better for us.
Sweet potatoes are life. And do you know what? They grow so wonderfully. We're all looking at possible apocalyptic times before. If you had sweet potatoes in your front veg, you would not go hungry. They just grow like you would not believe.
So more veggies.
More veggies.
More fruit.
Colourful veggies, lots of water. Imagine our bodies. We have so much water in our bodies. If you see a stagnant bit of water on the ground, it's murky and you want to steer away from it. If we constantly flow water in it, it's beautiful and clear. Let's do that. Think of our body. It's stagnant and murky.
You know, I
flow
drink
that water through.
about 6 bottles of 600 ml water a day.
You refill your bottle.
I started to buy, I know it's bad for bottles and stuff, but you use recycled bottles. But I use the actual, you know, the one that you buy for $5 for a carton of 24?
Yeah.
It's the way for me to drink water because it's quicker, it's accessible. Whereas getting up, getting a glass, going to the filter, I find that if you're like me and you never used to drink a lot of water, just buy it and it's always there and quick and easy.
It's a good point to know how much you're drinking. So if I have a 2-litre bottle of water, so by the end of the day, I know how much I've had and I'm going to drink all that.
How much should we have? Is it 3 or 6 litres, they say?
6 litres is a lot.
Okay.
I feel if you're working up in the mines in Western Australia, then that's common for people up there because they're sweating a lot, they're constantly losing it. I try to drink between 2 and 3. For some people, that's too much. So maybe be aware, get a big bottle and see how much you drink. Also, another great thing is get outside. Sitting inside watching screens all day is not good for our bodies. Get some vitamin D. Get it on your belly. Get your shirt off, especially in winter. I know, Fred, I can see you out there.
I'm sorry for those people in the northern suburbs.
Did you join Naked Gardening Day? Were you out there doing your work?
No, not quite. I'm not quite ready for it because of isolation. I had to stay in my house.
I think it's really great to just go outside in the winter sunshine and really make sure you get some on your stomach as well. Just absorb that sun.
For diabetics, they're constantly saying get out in the sun because you need your vitamin E.
Absolutely.
So it's been told to me many, but I do go out there. I do like being out in the sun, and even when it rains, I do try and take the opportunity to get out regardless. And I think it's really important. Like you say, a lot of us think the easiest way to get the immunity up is by going to the chemist and buying more tablets and stuff.
No, it's not tablets, it's lifestyle. And another big thing is sleep. I feel like this is a big area. We can all do that, and that comes down to switching off those screens again. We get caught up in a movie, parents just want some time to themselves, so they'll just put on something.
Give the device.
But have at least half an hour where your brain can actually shut down and get into a really good rhythm of a deep night's sleep. And getting a good solid 8 hours is so important for our health.
And how important is having a good immunity? What does it do for us that we don't quite know?
I feel that we can fight off some germs and bacteria a lot easier.
So
and
maybe
also,
colds and flus and coughs?
Absolutely, the common colds, and who knows for our long-term health as well. So we're always worried about getting older for some reason. it's anti-aging, really take caring of our health as well. Like longevity in some cultures is what they focus on from the time that they're born. I feel like we could really take that onto our culture as well. What actually gives me long sustained health, and taking on these simple practices: good night's sleep, plenty of water, rainbow food, less screens, more fun and play, more laughter, more joy, and not at someone else's creation on TV. I know we're on TV and I love to watch the couch every week. It's great. Then go outside and create your own joy episodes and chatting to everyone.
It's not that hard, and it's good for you in so many ways as well, isn't it?
It really
and the
is.
kids, if you've got children, get them out there playing with the old cricket bat, the ball, sandcastles, stuff that we don't do anymore.
It's hard. I feel like children at school are often, it's a place, I feel like it's a petri dish of germs. Everyone gets the school colds that come through, but you need to boost up their immune as well. And you know that they're going to be going back to health. You can do a multivitamin for kids when you're coming into cold and flu season, but you can also look at maybe getting some of these other free ways as well.
My immunity is already going up because you're here in the studio.
I know you're going to take this on, Fred. I can absolutely sense that in my being.
I definitely will be taking it on. But, Cara, you do more than just immunity enhancing. What's your website for those people who want more?
My website is Eco Fairies, and I spell it the traditional way, ECOFAERES, as you can see on the bottom there. And we are sustainability themed
Let's
education.
try it again. I think it didn't quite come up with the name. There it is.
There we go. Ecofairies.com. Check it out. We're a bunch of fairies in Perth spreading the goodness, sustainability, and happy times.
As always, thank you very much for coming in. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Thanks, Fred.
And we look forward to having you in a few weeks' time.
Sounds good. I'll see you then.
Cara Walker on the couch, Eco Fairy Cara Walker. She's been with us so many years. She still looks the same. We both look the same age, funny enough. Anyway, no one believes me. The fantastic people at Goliath are giving us $500 worth of board games to give away, folks. Now, if you want to be part of the game, it's called Spin It to Win It, thanks to Goliath. We would love you to be part of it. They're the games you see. That's just some of the games. We're going to have so many different games up for grabs. But about $500 worth of games to start with, I'm going to be giving away. So if you like those games you see on screen, they are going to be on the wheel. Spin It to Win It is the game. Thanks to Goliath Games, all you have to do if you want to be part of the competition, send your name and your address to this phone number, 0439 929 929. And of course, there's always a code word, games. Nice and easy. Games, thanks to Goliath, we're going to be playing the game very soon. So as soon as you start SMSing us, we'll be ringing you up. So keep your phones on. We will call you and we will play Spin It to Win It live on the show with our floor managers, Abby and some of our crew as well, and Bridget and some of our other crew as well. So thank you to Goliath. That starts this week. Start sending those SMSs in. And if you miss any of those details, watch our show again on Facebook, on the Couch Facebook, and the details are there because you can watch the clip again. Lots of stuff opening up very, very soon, nearly everything, but someone that's opened up about opening up is Belinda Cipriano. Welcome back.
Thank you, Fred. Good to be back.
How have you been?
Yeah, really well.
How have you been keeping through isolation?
Look, I know that you thought that I was getting a little bit of cabin fever, but I've been doing really, really well.
I know you wanted to go to Broome. Have you booked?
I haven't, not yet, no. I'm waiting for the borders to open because my sister wants to come over from Sydney so we can go together.
That's not going to happen for a while.
I know.
I did hear today, and I don't know if it's good or bad news, I heard someone saying that international flights are not going to open for at least another, is it 2 or 3 years or something?
Oh, no, I don't know about that.
I
heard
have
December
to go
31.
to Bali. I can't not go to Bali. Belinda, do something about it. But I want to talk quickly first about your brand new book. Can I see it?
Of course you can.
Thanks, Belinda. I'm going to hold it up to the cameras.
Thank you.
But this is a brand new book. Tell me about the book.
Okay, so we've discussed this before on radio, but this is Constance and Madeline Seaside Adventure. So it's my debut picture book. It's a children's book based loosely on the village where my grandparents and ancestors are from.
In Portugal?
Yeah, in Portugal. So the main character, Constance, is loosely based on my grandma, Constantina, and Madeline, which is the town that they're from. Oops. That's okay.
That's the check. That's the cash payment.
Yeah, it is.
Thank you.
Yeah,
so what made you write your own book?
Well, I'm a journalist, as you know, and I've always loved to write, and I've always wanted to write children's books. So I thought, why not do it?
And this is your first book, isn't it?
It certainly is. So that's going to be one of 3, and I've also got another book in the pipeline.
What would you like people to get from the book? So parents out there, why is it really important? Tell them onto this camera here. Why do they need to get the book, and how's it going to help them?
Well, it has a little message about the power of self-belief. And I think that's really important. It's an adventure tale, and we all like to go on adventures, don't we? Especially now. We've been sitting at home cooped up, but how many of us have been playing adventures inside our own heads, I guess, waiting until, this all blows over. But I'm really happy and proud, and I think my parents are really excited about it, and we've sold 50% of them on pre-orders so far.
That is amazing.
So, yeah.
Look, I love the fact you're a local author.
Thank you.
Yes, you are a journalist, but can I say you want to make it a good read?
Yes.
You want kids to enjoy it.
It is.
I love the colour. I love the mermaid on the cover. Who would it be? What age group do you think would be appropriate?
I think up to 7. I think it's...
So I can read it then.
It's a fairy tale, and I always loved reading fairy tales growing up. My mum could not take me away from the bookshops growing up, so I think it's a really cute little adventure. The illustrations are gorgeous.
So did you have local illustrators? Do you want to give them a plug?
So Macarena Smart. She's from
beautiful
over
pictures
east.
in there.
They're gorgeous,
gorgeous.
Really stunning. And my publisher, Daisy Lane, really helped put that together. So she organised Macarena to do those illustrations. So really happy with it.
How much does the book cost?
So the hard copy is $29.99. There's also
That's
a
good
soft
bargain.
and for the soft copy it's $18.99.
And can people go to your website?
They
and get
certainly
the details?
can.
I think we've got your website on screen.
Yep.
Funny enough, we've got it there.
Yep.
And we'll put it up, of course, for Belinda if we can. Yep, there it is.
Yep.
BelindaCipriano.com.au. .com. That's right.
Yep.
Now, anything else you want to say about the book?
No, that's it. If you are looking for a nice little book for your kids, please.
Birthday gift, Christmas gift, just a gift because you think they've been shut up for so long. You want to give them something fun to do.
Yeah.
Well done.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Beautiful. Now, we're talking about some places because, everything's been closed, folks, as we all know, because of isolation and distancing and all that. Restaurants and shops have started to open.
Yep.
Supermarkets have never closed. And we want to try and help some of the businesses that are back out there and trying to pay their bills. So we've got a few here that we're going to go through. Can we go through the first one? Coco and Boho in Coogee.
Okay, so Coco and Boho are literally 100 metres from my doorstep. Now, they're my local, and they really, really did well during the whole COVID period. They adapted. So Jordan, the owner there, and Sophie, the manager, they obviously shut down and they did the takeaway stuff. And as restrictions started to ease, they started to open up. Now they're fully open. Now, I was there on the weekend that they opened and they had people out the door. It was amazing. They've got a new menu. They've got chicken and waffles on their menu and
Beautiful.
fish tacos, which I love.
And they do brekkie as well,
Yeah.
folks. Brekkie, lunch, brunch and lunch as well. So no dinner at the moment?
No.
And they do takeaway still.
They still do
But
takeaway.
you can actually go in and eat now?
You can go in and eat. But I'd recommend booking on a weekend because they get crazy
Beautiful.
now. I mean, obviously at the safe social distanced requirement, but yeah, definitely book. They're
Sounds
amazing. They've really, really done such a good job over this whole period.
What we've done, we've got the super on screen. Can we actually put up their website if we haven't already done that? For there it is there. Do you want to read that out for people, the details?
So it's Coco and Boho. They're open 7 days a week from 6:30 till 3 p.m. Go visit them. Tell them I sent you and they'll look after you
And they'll
for
give
sure.
you a good deal,
They will.
especially
They
when
make
we're supporting
such
local.
Yeah, they make very good coffee there.
Now, this next company, we've had them on the couch, Vietnam, great people, Barrack Street and Yagan Square as well. Tell us quickly about those.
I'm so glad that you say that Lee and Emily have
They've
been
been
here
in the
before.
studio
They're
and
amazing,
they
aren't
are
they?
wonderful people.
Aren't
And,
they?
oh my God, they brought in so many rolls for the crew that I had to take some home and eat them in the car.
So you know what I'm talking about,
Beautiful.
right? So I was
barn rolls.
Yeah, the bung mi.
Is it
they're
bung
called.
mi?
Bung mi.
I didn't know
I
it was
always I get worried about when I'm pronouncing it, but it's a bung mi.
Well,
I
I'm glad
think.
you pronounced it. I was happy with bun. But they're beautiful. They've
They
got
are.
such amazing taste and
But
fresh
these-
rolls.
They are. And these guys really adapted to the whole COVID stuff too, Fred. I don't know if you've been following them on the socials, but they closed down. They closed down for 7 weeks, and when they were closed down, they thought about how they could actually still service the Perth population, and they took, the delivery thing on, and they were inundated.
Now, they've got the website. We put it up on screen, I think, just a few seconds ago.
Yep.
Let's go to the next one because we've got a couple more to get through. The Corner Italian in Subiaco.
Yeah.
What are they specialists for?
Okay, so Corner Italian are fine dining, and Chef Caleb actually had a tough time during COVID. He had to close down and he lost some staff and he lost his sous chef who went back to Italy, unfortunately. So he was a one-man band. Again, he struggled with the whole takeaway stuff because it is fine dining. And
It is very hard to do fine dining in a box.
Yeah, and he didn't like it because obviously the whole thing with fine dining is plating up and making it look beautiful. So he struggled with making that look beautiful in a takeaway box. Anyway, nonetheless,
Now you can go and enjoy it.
you can enjoy it. He did partner up with some delivery services and that all went well, but he's now open, offering a 5-course degustation menu for all his patrons.
Yep.
Go support him. He's in Subi. Subi does it tough as it is,
Yep.
especially now we don't have the stadium out there. Go and support him.
We've got a couple more to do.
Yes.
So the Rechabites Winter Hall, just quickly about them.
Yep, so they're back open up until June 28th. They're offering the Winter Feast, which is, I think it's $45 for chef selection.
Yep.
And you can go in there and their resident DJs are playing. It's decked out like a winter wonderland.
And they've got beautiful cocktails
Yes.
as well. Now, I'm just reading here, the vanilla caramel espresso martini.
How amazing.
How good is that? And the Winter Feast is only $45.
Yep. They're-
Dumplings, steamed buns, everybody, spring rolls and lamb rack.
Exactly.
Fantastic. They're giving us the wind up. The details are on screen, but the last one, Holy Moly.
Holy Moly is back open for a mini golf session, 1.5 hours. It's $50, and you also get the choice of 2 cocktails or mocktails, whatever you desire.
Fantastic. Details are on screen. Please
Yep.
support those people. They are wonderful local West Australian companies, Australian as well.
Yep.
But we want you to support our own people
Yep.
here locally. We'll have more of those sort of people, or we may go back to what's on where. If you want to contact Belinda to put your business on the page, please support her by doing that on the website. It is, of course, belindasipriano.com.
That's it.
There it is again on screen, belindasipriano.com. And don't forget the book. Was there anything
Don't
else
forget
you wanted
that.
to promote quickly?
No. I was just going to say, happy for you to slide into my DMs and just let me know
Thank
if
you
there's
very
anything
much.
you'd like promoted.
And we'll see Belinda in a couple of weeks' time. Thank you, Belinda. Nice
Thank
to
you,
have
Fred.
you back on the show, as
Good to be
always.
back.
And nice seeing you on Channel 9 on that the Pulse as
that's
well.
always
How
good
often do you
fun.
do that?
So it's usually once every 3 weeks, once a fortnight.
Beautiful. Watch her
Yeah.
on that. Go online. You can see all the past ones as well.
Yeah.
We're going to take a break. Coming up after the break, we're going travelling with Steve Collins to Geraldton. We've got a music act and Millennium Kids are back talking environment after this. Welcome back to the couch. Hope you're having a wonderful time at home with the freedoms we've got now. Probably the best in Australia still here in WA. Borders closed over here, but I hope things are slowly opening up for you. And if you're a business around Australia looking for a little bit of advertising, please contact us here at thecouch.com.au and we'll try and give you some help. As we are talking travel today, Steve Collins is back. Welcome back.
Thank you very much, Fred. It's nice to be back here. It's wonderful
It is nice to have
actually
you back.
see you. It's been such a long time.
And the other thing is people haven't been able to see each other at all,
No.
apart from the phone and that.
Well, not a lot of people want to see me at all.
You would have enjoyed the isolation.
because it's over.
The isolation's finished. How can you come back to the house? But tell me, a lot of people think, well, what's he going to talk about? There's no trouble. But there is a lot of stuff in trouble. You went to Geraldton, didn't you?
Well, yeah, because what's happened here in WA, we had a lot of borders within the state, which I think is different from most other states. So we can travel pretty much anywhere in Western Australia now. But of course, if you're in Victoria or New South Wales, you can travel between those states. Queensland and South Australia are opening their borders soon. So we're holding out a bit longer. But then again, don't forget that Western Australia occupies 1/3 of Australia.
state.
So there's so much to do here. You know, if you started driving, if you started at Eucla in the south, on the border, and then followed the coast all around to Kununurra up in the north, it is such a big state, it would take you 60 hours of constant driving to cover that. There's really no other place in the world where you can do that within the same state. So we've got a lot to see here.
I know you're taking us to Geraldton just quickly, but what's the latest in the last week or so with international travel? What have you heard?
Well, it changes all the time. At the moment, the only international people are doing a must-do flights. It might be for a family reason or for a business reason or whatever. Because don't forget, we have a lot of people who are FIFOs and don't work within Western Australia but work overseas. So at the moment, most places are still closed to us. Probably the first one that will open up will be New Zealand because they're pretty much COVID-19 free now. And at this stage, this is developing and it's developing quite quickly. Also, for people who need to go to Europe, for instance, they can now, if they're from Australia and New Zealand, they can now transit through Singapore without having to isolate. Now, that'll gradually come down to say, well, we can visit there, because if they're going to let us do that, they're obviously looking at
easing the restrictions. I mean, I heard today it could be July, it could be September, it could be December, it could be next year. So keep your eyes on the news.
It depends how it all goes, because don't forget, we're in winter now, and that traditionally is, certainly when it was in the Northern Hemisphere, that was when the COVID-19 hit the most. It doesn't seem to be happening here. Mind you, we don't have those very bad winters that they have up there. So we'll see what happens. But they're just monitoring it the whole time.
Let's take our fantastic viewers from all around Australia to Geraldton.
Oh, Geraldton.
What's there to see there?
Geraldton, first of all, it's about 430 kilometres north of Perth. Well, it depends how you drive, Fred, but say 5, because you really do. When you're driving that far, you really do need to stop. Now, from Perth, there's 2 different ways of getting up there. There's the Brand Highway, which is the inland route, and there's the Indian Ocean Drive, which is the coastal route, and that'll take you up through Cervantes and Jurien Bay, etc., etc. Very beautiful drive.
It's a beautiful vision.
And this is Geraldton itself. Geraldton has got a population of just under 40,000, and it is a beautiful coastal city. It's got a very big port there because they do a lot of minerals. They also export a lot of crops. Now, on the top of the hill, you see that's the memorial to the HMAS Sydney 2, which was sunk during World War II, and it has been found off Steep Point, which is just on Shark Bay. Steep Point, by the way, is the most westerly point on the Australian continent.
It's a beautiful
This is a fantastic memorial, and that's a wall with all the names of all the sailors who lost their lives. And you get some great views from there, particularly at sunset, because you get the most amazing sunsets in Geraldton. So it's just a lovely place to go and visit. There's great beaches all around there. There's some good surf. There's some good diving. There's a lot of, they've got a big marina there with a lot of yachts and stuff. You can also take cruises out to the Abrolhos Islands, which are 60 kilometres offshore, and
Wow.
that is incredibly beautiful. Crystal clear water on these reefs, just an amazing place. When I was in Geraldton, I had an experience. I stayed in a backpackers, Geraldton Backpackers, which is in an old heritage building.
You're not with Heather anymore?
No, she kicked me out for the night.
Okay. So what was that like?
No, I
Was
had
it
an opportunity
comfortable,
to stay there, and I thought, well, I've only ever tried backpackers once, and that was in Broome, so I thought, I'll give it a go. You know what? The incredible thing was, I had my own room. You don't have to share. And the incredible thing was, it was the most comfortable bed. I slept until 8 a.m. in the morning, which I never do. And it's all share facilities, but they're very, very clean. And you're right in the centre of town, so it's a great location, and you're also on the foreshore.
Look, it's an amazing place. I know
Yeah.
we've got only a couple of minutes to go, but
Yep.
it's got amazing shopping centres. They've just
Yes,
refurbished one of
They
them
have.
there. And
It's got a big sort of coffee cafe society up there as
and
well.
seafood's amazing there too.
Oh, we had
Yeah.
the most beautiful craze.
I
Now
remember
this is a leaning tree at Greenough. We're talking about, we're just outside of Geraldton now, because up there Geraldton is a great place to base yourself during the wildflower season, because you see them. This is also at Greenough. It's an old historical village which is no longer being used, but there's all these wonderful buildings there, churches and other buildings, and they've got the old mill in the background, as you can see, all sandstone. Ellendale Pool is part of the Greenough River, and this is a very popular camping spot, but the swimming there is wonderful, because you've got some really deep swimming pools
beautiful.
there.
You had some
It's
good
just
weather.
amazing, yeah. And it's only about 30 minutes out of Geraldton, this Ellendale Pool. Lovely place to go and see. There's so much history there. This is the Greenough River and the Greenough Inlet, and there you've got this lovely little surf beach. This is only about 5 minutes from the centre of Geraldton.
Very picturesque,
And
very
walk
green.
away. You've got beautiful farmland, but you've got this incredible wind farm as well. And there's all this, and this is the one most people go to see. It's called Hutt Lagoon. Everyone calls it the Pink Lake. It's about an hour north of Geraldton.
Yep.
The colours that you get in this lake are fantastic.
Fantastic.
So there's so much to see and do up in Geraldton.
And this is just one town here in WA, folks. If you're in WA and you're fortunate enough to be here, take a trip, see the country.
You go up to Geraldton.
While you can as well, without all the crowds either.
Well, yeah. Well, see, what's happening is a lot of people are going further north.
Yep.
They're going up to Shark Bay, they're going up to Exmouth and those places. But Geraldton, it's still there. It is really good. It's a really good destination and a good introduction to Western Australia.
Well, I look forward to the next destination in a couple of weeks' time. Steve, what's your website if people want more information about what you're covering?
Steve Collins, travelcorrespondent.com. How about
Wonderful to have him back in the studio. We'll see him more often, hopefully every couple of weeks, talking travel or travel topics. And if you've got some topics you want answers to, you can do that as well on 6PR Radio. He's on what
I'm
night?
on Friday nights on Perth Tonight with my regular travel bug segment. I do look like a
You do
cockroach,
actually.
don't I?
6pr.com.au. Now, somebody else that's not at 6PR, but he's been locked in the cupboard for the last week, and he's been locked in isolation with COVID. He's only 14-year-old. Here's Luis Ribeiro. Thank you very much. What have you been up to since COVID's hit us?
I've been doing a lot of recording, a lot of music, a lot of learning. I've learnt saxophone and trumpet. I've been really enjoying it.
Well, we have too, and we enjoy your music because you're a wonderful talent. How old are you now, Lewis?
I'm now 14.
Fantastic. Now, you said you learned to play the saxophone. Can you play a little bit for me now on the spot?
Sure thing, sure thing.
We're all out of time. Thank you very much, Lewis. We'll have you on next year. No, that's fine. Look, a lot of people remember you from Little Big Shots. For those people watching at home, he's 14. He was about 11 or 12 when he was in that. You're also in a trio. Can you tell us a bit about them?
Yes, I'm in this trio, funnily enough, called the Louis Ribeiro Trio. And we're a blues trio. We perform quite a bit. The last performance before COVID-19 was actually at the Ellington Jazz Club.
The Ellington Jazz Club is an amazing venue. Been there a few times myself. Great food, great atmosphere. Are you guys playing there soon?
Hopefully. They've asked us to come back, and I really would love to go there because it's a fantastic venue. I really enjoyed playing there.
Well, I really look forward to having you back there and watching you perform. But if people want to contact you or find out what's happening with you and your trio, how do they do that?
My Facebook page is just basically Louis Ribeiro. Same with Instagram, Louis Ribeiro, and you can find me on YouTube with the same name, Louis Ribeiro.
Nice and easy. I'm sure we'll see all your exciting news on that website. But tell us what you're performing for me today.
Every day I have the blues.
Tell us a little bit about that.
It's an old blues classic. I do Memphis Slim's version. It's a real old slow blues, and it has a real good groove. I really like it.
Well, it's such a shame we've run out of time. I would have loved to have watched it. No, I'm only joking. Centre Stage, you're going to perform for us very soon. So thank you for coming in today.
Thanks, Fred. Thanks for having us on the show.
Always welcome. Now, as we promised, Louis Ribeiro live on set, Centre Stage, performing Every Day I've Got the Blues. Here he is with Charlie.
Every day I have the blues. Every day I have the blues. Oh, when you see me worried, baby, 'cause it's you I hate to lose. Loves me, baby. Nobody seems to care. Well, nobody loves me. Nobody seems to care. Well, speaking of bad luck and trouble, baby, don't you know that my share? Ready now? Every day, 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 every day. Oh, when you see me worried, baby, 'cause it's you I hate to lose. Easy now, easy now. Gonna move on down the line. I'm gonna pack my suitcase, baby. Gonna move on down the line. Where there ain't nobody worrying, baby, and there ain't nobody crying. One more time now. Every day, every day, every day, every day, every day, every day. Oh, when you see me worry, baby, 'cause you I hate to lose.
Well done. Fantastic performance there by Luis Ribeiro, who will be on the couch very soon. And can I say Charlie was there accompanying him on the bass, I think they call that. Is that right? Yes, beautiful. Thank you very much. Time to talk Millennium Kids. They're back in business again, or getting back into business. And we've got two of the guests today talking to Nisha. Over to you.
Thank you, Fred, and so happy to be back on the couch with the whole crew here. Very exciting. And on the couch, we have both Kathy, one of the mentors from Millennium Kids, and Charles from Millennium Kids doing a lot of the work. How are you?
Yeah, good. How are you?
I'm wonderful. We've had some of your other colleagues on the couch as well talking about the great programs that you do. But perhaps just as a refresher for those that may have not caught that segment, would one of you like to talk to me a bit about Millennium Kids and what you actually do? So maybe Kathy, if you wanted to start off, yeah.
The Millennium Kids is an environmental youth organisation. We've been going for about 25 years, and the aim of the organisation is to support young people who want to take action to protect the environment, conservation action, basically.
Wonderful, and it's so important, isn't it, that we have our leaders of tomorrow and our youth so focused, and also just as important that we have mentors like yourself involved who are passing on all of their knowledge and skills and support, I imagine, as well.
Yes. I think the mentoring role is really important, as you say, because often we don't give young people credit for how capable they are. Yeah. And so the adults in Millennium Kids are there to help the young people believe in their own credibility and to do the things that young people can't do so well, like organising paperwork and working with local governments to get permission to do projects and all those sorts of roles.
That's so wonderful, Jim. During the COVID-19 period, I think what we saw was the importance of actually having purpose and meaningfulness. And reading through what we're going to talk about today, which is the Green Lab initiative, I can certainly see how from a young age, but then also from a mentor looking at legacy of life, that this is a really important project. So I might get you, Kathy, to tell us about what the idea of Green Lab is, and then we can pass over to Charles and you can talk to us a bit about your involvement. How does that sound?
Sounds good, yeah.
Okay, wonderful. So over to you, Kathy.
Green Lab really started with the Sustainable Development Goals. So in 2015-16, the world took on these 17 Sustainable Development Goals.
United Nations, big fan.
United Nations, that's right. And so Millennium Kids started asking our young people, well, what are your concerns? What do you think the most important issues are? And the three issues that came up again and again were climate change, waste, and loss of tree canopy. We actually did a formal study. We asked 500 young people, and they were the three key issues that came out.
And that's the beautiful thing, isn't it? It's kids for kids. With also having that nice peppered layer of having mentoring coming in, and nearly reverse mentoring too. So you mentioned earlier, and I want to pick up on it, is that you learn a lot from, kids as well. And so it's both ways. It's kind of, we lose that playfulness sometimes as we get older. So I think we can all learn from each other. Oh, beautiful. Yeah. Okay, so I might get you, Charles, now to tell us a bit about your involvement and how you got started with Green Lab.
Okay. Well, how I got started with Green Lab was several years ago now. I was talking about the idea I had to start up a revegetation project in the bush behind my house. And Kathy had heard that the Shire was looking for a Friends of group to start up and work on the bush behind my house. And I basically took that opportunity up, and that's how I started it.
Wonderful. That's exciting. That's really in purpose. So tell us, Kathy, a bit about the program in total. Like, what are you aiming to achieve with the Green Lab?
Well, Green Lab had to take a different tack with COVID. So the purpose of Green Lab is to encourage young people, schools, community groups to protect the little pockets of bush that we've still got across Perth. So each of those little pockets of bush could be called a Green Lab. It's a place where you can go and you can learn about the environment, you can learn about conservation. But of course we couldn't take young people out. We couldn't go into schools and take young people out. So we did a quick think, and Green Lab has now gone online, and we're working with Curtin University in their Global Challenge project, and we've got an online Green Lab program.
Beautiful.
And then people like young people like Charles are talking to young people through the screen about their projects.
That's wonderful that you've got the IT, the technology, you've been very agile, and then Charles, you've gotten really involved, and now it's going to change, I guess, as we start to become able to physically interact with people. Time's gone so quickly, but I just wanted Charles to also tell me a bit about your motivation, because I think the call to action for other young people, as well as for mentors getting involved, is important. What motivates you and excites you to do this?
Yeah. Well, a couple of different things. One of the main things is I used to build huts out in the bush, which I re-veg now, and in all the time I was out there I saw a lot of intriguing things, especially things such as bush rats, which are this amazing native rodent that I wouldn't have seen otherwise if I hadn't been out there, and that sort of gave me an appreciation of what was out there. And I also live right near the national park, and I often go in there, and you can see the sort of contrast between my patch of bushland and the national park, and I was basically trying to turn my bushland into an area like the national park to benefit these things, like bush rats and bandicoots and all the birds and things like that.
Oh, beautiful, the circle of life, and really you've thought about this very thoroughly, and it's very impressive. So well done on being a leader in this space. And I'm sure there's a lot of the audience out there, particularly our youth, thinking, how do I get involved? So if I can ask you to have a look down the barrel of our camera, I believe it's camera 2, is that correct, team? Yep, so camera 2, yep. No, I'm sorry, camera 1. I'm obviously adapting back into studio. Camera 1, and just let us know how we get in touch.
Well, you can go to the Millennium Kids website at www.millenniumkids.com.au.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for both being on the show. We will have you back on again to talk more about Green Lab and other initiatives, but well done on all of your work.
Thank you. It's
Okay.
our pleasure.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you. So now it's back to you, Fred. If you've missed any of that, go to thecouch.com on Facebook as well.
Nice to have you back, Nisha. And thank you to Millennium Kids. They're a regular guest every month, hopefully, on the couch. As you guys start to pick up more and more with the COVID virus restrictions disappearing. I want to ask just Charles quickly. I know we're over time, but hey, who cares? I know the producer. Charles, do you urge other kids to get into it? Are you very passionate about the environment?
Yeah.
Because I know I can see that passion coming out of you there. Is it something in the future, when you grow up and be an adult, what would you love to have an influence on in our environment? What would you love to make a change in?
Well, one of the main things I'd like to help change is also to do with people. It's to raise awareness.
Make us all change and look to a good environment.
Yeah. So the more people who know these things, the more people care, the more people do.
Do you know what? I want you guys to start on recycling. Those bins are the most confusing thing in this whole world. Every single council has different laws of what to put in there. So maybe that's a target. If we can get everybody putting the right stuff in bins, that will be a great change. But thank you very much, both of you, for coming in today. Thanks to Nisha for coming back. Nisha will be back with some animals very soon. Oh, no, she's actually cooking.
Cooking, not
Cooking.
animals.
No, she's not cooking animals either.
No.
We'll be back talking Peel Zoo, another great local organisation, straight after this. Welcome back to the couch on Aurora Foxtel. Thanks for your company. Now, just to let you know, Meast Catering, we were going to have them on the show today. We thought best to have them on next week. We're still going to have them on, but they'll be next week. Okay, so we'll be cooking something with their Middle Eastern food next week. We've got Ranger Red with us today. Peel Zoo has just reopened. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us, and thank you for allowing me to bring my critters.
Oh, you've got your friends with you too,
Yeah.
Ranger Red. Fantastic to have you here and your friends. Tell us first, who have we got here today?
So you're holding one of our bobtails. We actually have two types of bobtails. Here's a Goldfields bobtail. West Australians tend to refer to bobtails as blue tongue, which isn't correct because we actually have three distinct species of blue tongue lizard in Western Australia. So here's a Goldfields bobtail. That's why he's so bright. And then we have Frankie the frogmouth here, who's another bird that's often misidentified or referred to as an owl. But owls are birds of prey and use talons to catch
He's
food.
very calm.
He is, because he's an educational animal, and how he actually catches food is he has these feathers there on top of his beak, and as an insect flies past, he opens his mouth, and that's how he catches his food. And then we've got Elmo, our black-headed python. Elmo's approximately 8 years old. He came with the zoo when I bought it, and we have a large reptile collection at the zoo.
Yep.
A lot of people think these guys are dangerous because of their black head, and also because it's got a small head, it makes a lot of people think that they're a venomous snake. But they actually have such a small head because these guys feed on other reptiles. They're not.
Now, we're going to keep this one away from him, aren't
Yeah.
we? Do they sense fear? Like, I've looked at the lovely bird, keeps looking at the snake. It's like, don't put him too close to me.
Yeah, because he's aware that the snake would be a predator in the wild, so he still has his instincts, so he's being cautious of that.
Now, you've just recently bought the zoo a couple of years ago, is that right?
No, last year, the
Last
9th
year?
of the 9th, 19, but unfortunately we've been closed for 3 months due to the COVID virus.
So what have you done? What have you made use of the time for?
We did a lot of tree pruning. We built some new enclosures. All the enclosures got a paint job. All our garden beds have been mulched, and we've done a lot of tree planting and whatnot. And we've brought a lot of new animals into the zoo.
Now, a lot of people out there would say, oh, it's a zoo, it must be owned by the government. It's owned by yourself, you pay all the bills. Do you get funding from the government?
No, none
at all. So
None at
you
all.
rely on us, the public, supporting you, whether it's a school coming out and bringing an excursion or whether it's me coming out to visit the zoo. Tell me what times you're open and what days.
So we're open 7 days a week. Monday to Friday we're open 10 till 4. School holidays and weekends and public holidays we're open from 9 till 5. But we also do have a mobile program, so we can go to places that might not be able to come to the zoo. Yeah, like this. So these are just a small amount of our critters that we take out to locations.
Now, tell me the difference. Those people say, it's a zoo. No, it's not just a zoo. What can we expect to see, apart from these fantastic guests that are here today? What else have you got there?
You can expect a hands-on experience because a lot of our enclosures are walk-through enclosures, and we do supply feed at the door that the public can purchase. We're also involved in some breeding programs. We're one of the intricate members involved with the breeding of the Tasmanian devils, who faced extinction nearly 15 years back due to the facial cancer that they were suffering in Tasmania. So Peel Zoo's very big there. And we obviously breed a lot of other endangered animals.
Breeding program as well. So do you know roughly how many animals you've got at Peel Zoo?
Yeah, we've got over 600.
That's a lot of animals. What's the biggest animal you've got there?
After me? No, probably one of our alpacas.
Yeah.
Or even a couple of our sheep are pretty big. And then our smallest animal would probably be our finches.
Amazing. I'm assuming that you're now back up and running. You're open for business and
Yes,
we want people out there. With the animals we've got here today, where do they all come from? How do you acquire the animals?
Being a ZAA member, which is a Zoological and Aquariums Association, we have what's called a surplus list. Some of the animals, when I actually bought the zoo, I had a very large collection, including over 300 birds that I brought to the zoo, and other wildlife parks and whatnot. We do a lot of trading and whatnot. So
Fantastic. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to give out the website because we're going to take a break and come back and talk to you some more. Yeah. If that's all right, Ranger Red.
Yeah,
What's the website? If people want to look it up in the break.
www.peel.com.au.
It's there, wood sheet for you. Peelzoo.com.au. Gotcha. We're going to come back and talk to Ranger Red straight after this break. And if you want to have a look at the website while we're doing that, we'd love you to do that too. We'll be back with more right after this.
Connect with The Couch online through Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.
Welcome back to The Couch, of course, episode 666. We've got Ranger Red with us from Peel Zoo. Thank you for staying with us, Ranger. Tell me about you a little bit, Ranger Red. What's your background?
I actually lived in Sydney for 14 years from the time I was 18, and I actually was involved with this Australian Theatre for Young People.
Yeah.
And I was working in and around a couple of television stations, and I would often take animals in for segments.
Like Wombat, the show on Channel 7 and stuff like that.
No, I used to take a crocodile and everything out.
Oh,
and
you didn't bring one here?
No, we're in the process of getting a crocodile.
Beautiful.
Probably about 4 or 5 months away from getting one.
Have you always loved animals?
I have.
Yep.
I have.
So are you a vet by trade or just a person that loves animals?
No, I'm just a person that loves animals and happened to be in a position to be able to buy Peel Zoo when it came on the market.
Look, it is fantastic. You're the owner of Peel Zoo. It's back up and running. Tell me a little bit, because I know we've only got about 4 minutes left, but the educational work you do. How does that work?
we run what's called a Zoo to You program. So as well as schools coming to the zoo, we also go out to schools and nursing homes and kids' birthday parties, and we take a range of animals and we supply educational information for them to use afterwards in their school programs and whatnot. And when they come out to the zoo from schools, we also run programs.
Now, I was talking to you in the break about the cost of running a zoo. Yeah. A lot of people would think, oh, well, the animals don't cost much, but they have to eat. Yeah. You have to clean the zoo out. How many staff would you have working at your zoo?
We have 2 full-timers, a part-timer and 2 casuals, and we have about 20 volunteers that come in.
That's a lot of people. Yeah. And what about the animals? On a daily, roughly average, how much would you spend on food?
To open our gates, we're probably looking at a cost of about $600 to $800 a day.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Now, if we're looking for some rich investors or people that are passionate about the zoo, would you be interested in people contacting you and putting their name to you?
Yes, definitely. And we do have an animal adoption program, and with that you get a certificate and you get a free entry into the zoo and whatnot, so you can come and see the animal you sponsor.
Well, look, I think it's a wonderful idea. I think it's a great zoo. I'm glad you've continued it and haven't let it shut down. 600 animals.
Yep.
About $800 a day to run the place.
Yep.
Was there anything else you wanted to touch just quickly before we wrap up the show today?
Oh, I'd just love to see the people come back to the zoo and that.
And please support the Peel Zoo. Tell us again, where is it located?
We're located in Pinjarra, just off Pinjarra Road, in what's called Century Drive. So about 20 minutes from Mandurah or an hour from Perth.
It is fantastic. The work you do is amazing when it comes to kids coming out there. And I do love the idea, folks, that it is all hands-on. Kids can actually play with the animals like we're doing here. There's 600 animals, so lots to choose from. You're getting a crocodile, did you say?
Yeah, we're in the process of starting our croc enclosure, and we'll hopefully have the croc there within 4 to 5 months.
How does one get an animal? I mean, if I wanted a crocodile, obviously you couldn't just go on eBay and buy one and it gets delivered by,
There's breeders of them, and as I was saying before...
And there's strict rules, isn't there?
There is very
animals.
strict.
So people out there, you need to know what you're doing. You won't just get animals like these. And the other thing, you're obviously very passionate with animals. If people find sick animals like these, what should they do with them?
Take them to their local vet, and the vet will assess the animal and then can place it in a wildlife hospital. Or with a wildlife care.
You're sort of like Ranger Stacey, but you wear a hat and you're obviously male as well and have a beard. It's a big difference for Ranger Stacey. Ranger Red, it's been a pleasure having you for our first segment on the show.
Yep.
Love to have you back. So I hope you come back again and we'll do some more promo for the zoo.
Other critters.
And we'll bring some kids in to play with. I think you had some in the green room as well. Yeah. That is it for our show today, folks. Peel Zoo. Now, Meast Catering will be on next week's show, so keep an eye on that. Nisha will be back with that lovely lady. Thank you to Peel Zoo for coming in. Please support them. Thanks to all our wonderful crew. As always, they do an amazing job. And we thank you at home for watching us once again on Aurora Foxtel Channel 173. Don't forget, spin it to win it if you want to win those board games. We need you to SMS. Watch the show again on Facebook for all the details. And we'll look forward to seeing you next week right here on the couch. Once again, have a great week. Stay safe. Stay home if you can, or go back to work and earn some more money as well. From all of us here at the couch, have a wonderful week. Bye for now from all of us and the animals as well.